I'm pleased to welcome Senator James Paterson, Shadow Minister for Home Affairs and Cyber Security, to the show. Senator Paterson, welcome. What's the nature of the risk that the committee has observed through its deliberations?
Thank you for having me, Amanda. Well, the committee was very sobered by the risk that we encountered in the evidence of this committee. It is a very serious risk, and it's a risk to our democracy. Because whether we like it or not, social media platforms have become the public square of our democracies. It's where news is broken, where issues are debated, and where decisions effectively are shaped and then made. And authoritarian states recognise this. It's why they don't permit these platforms in their countries, and why they try and use ours as a point of weakness, as a vector to interfere. And so we thought the health of these forums impacts directly on the health of our democracy, and we can't just allow foreign governments, whether they do so through a Western headquartered social media platform by weaponising their algorithms, or whether they do so through an authoritarian headquartered platform by directly influencing them, should be allowed to have free rein in intervening in our democracy. Otherwise, we'll find ourselves having our decisions made for us by others.
Help me understand and help my viewers understand exactly what the end game is here. What are foreign governments trying to achieve by this conduct?
Well, if we think about Australia and our region, the Indo-Pacific, where many strategists warn there is a risk of state-on-state conflict within the next 5 years, the thing that always precedes a real war is an information war. And states try and shape the choices in advance that other states make to their favour. So in the case of a potential conflict in our region, a potential adversary might be trying to get Australia out of participating in such a conflict. And so what they try and do is influence our decision-making, influence our public opinion, try and get our politicians to have a constrained environment in which to make a decision, and therefore make a choice that favours them instead of us. And if we let it happen, we'll find ourselves waking up when it's too late to have done something about it. So it's really important that we get on the front foot now, even a long time away from potential conflict, to address this before it becomes a really serious problem.
Yeah, too right. What recommendations did the committee make in its report?
The committee was really informed by the principle of transparency as opposed to censorship. We've seen other proposals out there, like the government's misinformation law, which would be using censorship to solve this problem, but we want to use transparency to solve this problem. We want the platforms to be transparent about the content that's on there. For example, state-affiliated entities, whether it's RT or Russia Today or Xinhua, that are state-affiliated should be labelled as such so that users can make informed choices about the information they receive from it. And secondly, the platforms themselves must be transparent about how they operate. When they're censoring or deplatforming content, they should be open and honest about it. They should make themselves open to independent researchers and third parties to study the algorithm and the other activity that occurs on their platform, particularly the coordinated inauthentic account, the bot accounts that are being put on there to try and game the algorithm to drive content to you and me that's not organic, that's not real, but been driven by the interest of a nation state. And we think if the platforms abide by that transparency, then we'll have a much healthier and much more open public debate that will be much better informed. But if they don't, then unfortunately we'll find ourselves being influenced by people that we don't even know are trying to influence us.